Welcome to Up to the Minute. We are here with your HCC news and information and some special guests. We've got a great show lined up for you for the next half hour or so, and stick around. We're going to see some exciting things coming up. But first, I want to introduce my co-host for the day, Frank Cooper, who is in the house. Frank, we're going to talk a little sports later, but some crazy things happened over the weekend.
They did. A lot of great surprises and upsets over the weekend. So I'm happy to talk about that later on the show. Hey guys, new year, same old format. Please note the show's on YouTube. Hit the notification bell for all the latest campus news. Great interviews with constituents. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all major social media platforms. So let's go to the show.
That's right. And we've got a good show lined up for you. You know, we always like to visit with our success stories, and this morning is no exception. We've got one of our success stories joining us. He's the pastor of the Fountain of Faith Ministries, Reginald Joseph. Good morning to you, Reginald. I think your microphone's muted right now. If you could unmute your mic. There you go.
Good morning, Todd, and everyone online. Good
well,
to
we're
have you
looking
all today, and I'm happy.
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking with you, Reginald. We're going to ask you to stand by for just a few moments. We'll be back with you shortly and hear your story. But first, we want to start with, we've got some Houston royalty in culinary arts. Chef Kiran of Kiran's Indian Cuisine, Chef Kiran Verma joins us this morning. Good morning to you, Ms. Verma. How are you?
Hi, thank you. Good morning to you too.
Now, I want to talk about your restaurant. You've been around for some time. Maybe you can tell us, and you've also won a number of awards. For folks who aren't familiar with where you're located, first tell us where your restaurant is located and a little bit about the history.
Well, of course, my name is Kiran. I'm the chef and owner of Kierans Restaurant. I've been cooking professionally for almost now 25 years. And it feels like when somebody brings their little one and they say they did their baby shower and now they're celebrating his 22nd or 23rd birthday with me, I just feel like, oh my gosh, I've grown old cooking in Houston.
And you've got a number of fans. I know you got a shout out from Simone Biles recently. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
It was such a big surprise, pleasure and honor to be mentioned by her. She's really a celebrity. And, you know, we have a great relationship with Uber Eats. And especially during this pandemic time, you know, we have done 24/7 all food deliveries through them. So somehow they asked me if we wanted to be, you know, on air. And of course, I didn't want to not say yes to this opportunity. And we were really honored that we are her favorite restaurant. And I want to be everybody's favorite restaurant.
Well, I want to ask you about the pandemic because you talked about doing a lot of takeout. And how hard was it to pivot your business when restaurants had to shut down to do primarily takeout and pickup? How difficult was that for you and for your staff?
So, of course, you know, it's been really challenging times. And first couple of months, I remember we were just, of course, open only for takeout service. So the front doors of the restaurant were closed. The dining room was empty. And, you know, we are so used to, as chefs and owners, seeing the restaurant buzzing and all the employees running, that stress which brings the good energy in you is there. But now when we were closed for public, we were just open in the back. But, and, you know, of course, we were having all the time food to go. And we can't thank Houston community enough for supporting us, HEB for supporting us, Central Market for constantly supporting us with the takeout service. And that kept us busy and our employees. We actually were one of the very fortunate restaurants who did not have to cut one employee's 1 hour. Actually, wow. Most of our employees were on overtime. That kept us going and kept my energy going, because it is depressing to see an empty restaurant. Now, of course, the restaurant has picked up some, especially on the weekends, but we need so much more.
Now, you know, Houston Community College has a culinary arts program where we're training the next generation of chefs. But I was reading through your bio, and it says you're self-taught. Is that correct?
Of course, in culinary world, I am self-taught, but you would be surprised. I was 18 when I came to this country, and I went to HCC. I took my typing, my bookkeeping, my accounting, all those courses from HCC, and that gave me a beginning in this country. And I was a banker at that time.
Well, I want to ask you, what's your most popular dish that it's a go-to for Houstonians?
Chicken tikka masala, of course. Everybody, you can have 200 guests sitting on in your restaurant, but every table almost has one chicken tikka masala in the center of the table.
And do you also do a good Vindaloo?
Extremely mean Vindaloo.
Because I had some a few weeks ago and it was pretty good, but I'm gonna have to come try yours because I think I'm a fan of Vindaloo. For many years, I'd go to Indian restaurants and I'd always order the wrong thing because I wasn't really aware and I was too embarrassed to ask the waiter to tell me more about the dishes. And I got Vindaloo and that's the way to go. So I'm a big Vindaloo fan, so I'm gonna have to come try it.
When you come here, I'll make for you lamb Vindaloo.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Now, you also have something called afternoon tea service. Maybe you can tell us about that.
So every Saturday of the month, of the week, we have afternoon tea, which starts at 2:00. It's a combination of English and Indian fare. We start with mushroom and feta samosa, or sometimes we'll do mushroom and feta and crew, depending on the time and the mood I am in. If I want to bring a little bit more French into my tea, I'll do en crew or pastry, but otherwise I'll do mushroom and feta samosa, and that starts with the Indian cup of chai, or sometimes I'll do a Darjeeling tea with it.
And speaking of chai, you're going to do a little preparation for us, a demonstration of making some chai. Maybe you can tell us about that and get started.
Yes, I will. And, we of course have 3 courses of the tea differently, like chai, Darjeeling tea, and Earl Grey. Earl Grey is usually with our pastries, and open-faced sandwiches will have chai or Darjeeling tea, depending on the day or the time I'm thinking. If it's too rainy and too cold, we'll make more chai and continue with chai courses with a lot of our sandwiches and pastries, and people just enjoy chai. So that's why I thought I'll demonstrate how to make a good cup of chai. You have the boiling water, and then in the boiling water, I'll put freshly peeled and little cubes of ginger or slices of ginger. Then you will infuse the water with ginger and spice mixture, which is called chai masala, and I have my own spice mixture, which is a combination of cardamoms, cloves, cinnamon, and black peppercorns. So now the water is infused. If I don't know how clear it is on your Zoom, but
oh yeah, we can see very well.
Okay, and then I have like 2 cups of water and about 2 teaspoons of my chai blend. It's called Kiran's Daughter Chai Blend, and we sell that in the restaurant, and we hope to someday go public on it and sell in the grocery stores, because people come to our restaurant to buy this blend of chai. And then once the chai has become strong and it's the water is infused with the tea leaves, I'm going to put this sugar in the raw or brown sugar. I always like that brown sugar just because it does not leave a very sugary taste on your tongue, and it's not bleached. And now the water has been boiling for a minute or so, and then I'll put whole milk. The reason you put the whole milk, or you can even use half and half to make it a little bit more creamy, just because, the water or the tea leaves, when they are boiling, it makes the tea bitter. So kind of to balance the flavor, you add the cream and sugar into the chai. Once it's boiled, I'm going to strain in this beautiful cup, and I'll enjoy with my daughter, and you can enjoy with anybody you want.
Now, I imagine using the fresh ingredients like you have there make a big difference, because when I've had chai before, it's usually just the granulated mix that you just stir in with hot water. This looks like a whole different experience.
It is, and if you see in this little tin, we have the tea blend, which is also mixed with the spices, and it's really easy. We have the instructions on our tin, so people have followed. I have demonstrated many times. Now you can see the chai has boiled, and
Right.
then I'm going to strain it. You never want to drink chai alone, so bring your friend, bring anybody with you to have a good cup of chai.
And this is served at the afternoon tea service, but I imagine anybody could get the chai anytime there. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
You can get chai anytime, and chai is very popular after dinner is finished. Almost 80 to 90% of our guests enjoy the cup of chai.
I would love a cup of that chai, especially about right now. Chef Kiran of Kiran's Indian Cuisine. You guys are located in the Upper Kirby area. Make sure you find them on the web and support their business. We appreciate you being here this morning. Best of luck and stay safe.
Thank you. You all too.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to getting some of that Vindaloo soon. I'm going to be out there.
I look forward to having you.
Thank you, Chef Kiran. All right, we are going to move on to one of our student success stories. You know, we always love to catch up with our former students, and we just heard Chef Kiran was a former student a few years back, and we've got Reggie joining us now. And Reggie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Todd. Good to have you all here, and I'm so happy to be here.
Now, we're very pleased to hear you. Want to hear more about this. Now, you are a Nigerian-American single parent, and you have 2 sons, but you also have an associate's degree from HCC, a bachelor's from U of H at Clear Lake, and a master's degree from Purdue University.
That's correct.
Now, I understand you recently had an experience with some of your sons. They had some life-threatening health problems. Maybe you can talk about dealing with some of those challenges as a single parent.
So before I do that, I like to create a picture in your mind to enable you to appreciate and understand the guest you have today. Now, let's say you have lived the first 30-something years of your life in a particular environment. And in that environment, you had a job that everybody thought was a very great job. And being a pastor, people thought everything was okay. But deep down in you, you had a dream as a kid that appeared to be dying. The dream was you used to admire some kind of family that has some stuff that you thought you didn't have in your family. You had a dream of becoming somebody that you saw somewhere, but somewhere you didn't have the wherewithal, and you didn't know who had the wherewithal to help you become who you dreamt to be. So there was a missing link. And down the line, fate had it, someone was introduced into your life, and you suddenly dropped into a different environment that is 1,000 times different, far away from where you've always been.
Right.
So right there, you are disoriented. You are confused. You're dealing with the first shock of your life, which is culture shock. And that was number one. That was what I dealt with when I first got into the US.
And it's something that HCC has the largest international student body around. So a number of our students are facing the same issues you're talking about right now.
Right, and that's where I'm going. So now, when you come into a foreign country, you are bound to deal with culture shock. But understand that culture is made up of a people. Wherever you find culture, you find people. So there has to be a decision at that point. There has to be a choice. So what I did was, in order to overcome my shock, I needed to understand the people. So we got into starting the ministry, and my primary aim was to reach out to the indigents of the land. At some point in my life, I was being described of the African pastor of an American congregation because I had a 99% congregation of all Americans. The primary intent, I tell you, Todd, was for me to understand the culture because I was dealing with this. I was dealing with it. Food was different. The people were different. The mentality was different. But there's something I needed to know. So to understand it, you need to get acquainted with the people. And that helped me a lot. Then we got into college. Of course, the shock was there, but of course, the people were also there. But bear in mind, I came into the US primarily to get my kids who were dealing with a life-threatening situation, which is hemophilia. Now, it's a blood clotting disorder that could kill if not treated. And back in Nigeria, There is no medication to treat it. So I had 3 sons and I had lost one. One had died. I was faced with this decision of having to either watch the rest die or to leave that job. So when I got over here, as I said, I ran into people that really helped me. The first thing I did was to look around who could help me understand the culture by connecting me to people. And I say in every life situation, you have a choice to take a chance if you want to change. And the moment I ran into, I was living in an apartment complex actually, and that's where I came in contact with the Professor Gordon that referred me to this program. And I ran into her, understanding that she was a professor in a college, and I said, "You a professor?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to go to college." She said, "Sure, I can help you." Now, this was the dream growing up. This was the dream. I had always dreamed, like, I want to have an American degree. I want to be an American. I want to do this. But then I didn't have what it takes to do this. But I didn't know fate had its own way. So we moved on, and she really helped me, and I got into HCC. It was, they tried this way there, but the people, the HCC, as I then had one of the, I could say they paraded the best of all professors who could nurture any dumb student to success. And I'm careful to say that because we have professors that could stay after classes,
right,
to give you tutoring service, to walk you to that table of success as willing as you are. If you're ready, you will succeed. So I worked with professors that were very nice, who understood my plight as a parent, who understood my condition as a single parent dealing with children with life-threatening situations.
Sure.
So they were very compassionate. But at the same time, I also needed to show my own readiness to get whatever they had. So in that case, discipline was required on my own part. And yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Now, in every life thing, in one of the 3 teachings I do, the 3 essentials of college success, I have a teaching I do most times on television and on social media.
Right.
And you also believe you will not understand how many referrals I've sent to HCC.
Well, we could always use the referrals. That's the best marketing we have out there.
Exactly. And that's exactly where we got to where we are today. Now, believing that this partnership is going to help. I mean, it's going to create a mutual benefit for the both of us. I've had to talk to a lot of mature students, a lot of people within my bracket, to let them understand that age, circumstance is not a barrier to success. But you do need to make a determination. You do need to have to determine within you, and then the help will be offered to you. So it was a very difficult beginning, but in the midst of it, I can tell you, Todd, I've learned a lot, and it's becoming a story that we're sharing today, that somebody else out there can understand that it's possible.
Reginald, let me ask you this. We're living in different times right now, and troubling times where many of our students have literally been sequestered for the best part of 10 months. Many of them are doing their studies online. They're learning online. It's a different world for us. Do you have a message for those international students they're away from their family? They're here in America, but for the last 10 months, most of the time they've been in an apartment doing their learning online, and I'm sure it's a very difficult situation. What would be your message for them during these times?
First of all, I said it in the beginning, they have to appreciate the fact that they are now in a new environment. You have to get closer and acquainted with the culture that you are in. Because right in America, you will be received the much you want to be received. You will be accepted the much you want to be accepted. I understand the fact that families back home, I do have families there. Everybody is worried. But it's also the school has got, I believe the school has got an international department that is also involved in helping to manage the fears and the concerns of these students and their families. So, and that is part of what my program on television also does. I try to assure parents back home that it's not as terrible, it's not as bad as you think it is. if you have a concern about your child in any school, if you know the school, I can guarantee you, if you don't even know the phone number, reach out to me on my program. I can get the phone number of that school and that department. You'll be able to talk to them to know that your child is doing okay. The fear is genuine, but I can tell you the solution is proper.
Absolutely. Reginald, if folks want to watch your programming, if they want to find you on YouTube, and how can they do that?
I am on Reginald Joseph. It's called Vision Vibes Incorporated. It's a platform designed to help people find their dream you. I call it finding your dream you. You know, there is absolutely nothing impossible when you have the determination to succeed. So I am on YouTube. I am on Facebook, Vision Vibes Incorporated. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the social media platforms.
We're going to put some links in the social media post for this show so people can find you on YouTube, Facebook, and follow you and get your message. And Reginald Joseph, he's the pastor of the Fountain of Faith Ministries and also a very proud former HCC student. We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Thank you, Reginald. You take care and stay safe.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
All right, so we're going to move on to Frank Cooper with our HCC news and announcements. Frank, before we get to sports, we've got a few things to go over. Some things going on at HCC. One of them is an initiative where HCC is doing surveys to talk about smoking on campuses in the designated smoking areas. It's for smoke-free HCC.
Exactly. So it's a smoke-free environment. We talk about the importance of not smoking and the bad use of tobacco products. So for more information on that, check out the QR code on the district Facebook page. It will be right on there, guys and ladies.
And that's right. HCC has virtual coffee breaks. Janet May, yeah, we remember her. She's a great friend of the show. Also, our Chief Human Resources Officer. She hosts a virtual coffee break. They're back for the spring semester of 2021. And her first guest is a good one. It's happening today after this show at 11 a.m. You know him, you love him, Sean Atmishi. He's the Dean of Digital and Information Technology, COE, as well as the Advanced Technology, COE. He's a very busy guy, but he's going to be on the show, and Sean's always got some great things to say. He's always got some new technology he's highlighting. He's always up to something good, always. The guy's always got something going on. So check out Sean and Janet later on today at 11 a.m. Look for your emails to register and join the virtual coffee break. Move ahead with adult education, Frank.
Yeah, so if COVID has left you without a job or if you're struggling to find work because you lack a high school diploma or industry training, HCC Adult Education Program can help you to get the skills that you need for a new job. So for more information about that link, check the link in our post after the show is over with.
Payment plans. Okay, students, you're worrying about paying for college. We've got a lot of solutions. Of course, financial aid is one of them. There's also scholarships. Do you know, Frank, there are a number of our programs that are going on right now where you can enroll and the whole thing is free. Your tuition, your books are all paid for. There are several programs, short-term solutions for job fixes. You want to get training that are available right now. You just have to go out and grab them.
Absolutely. Like you said, from spring tuition to books, all of that information is available. So for more information about that and to take part of that wonderful opportunity, go to hccs.edu/virtual lobby for more information about that.
Right. Check out the programs that are fully paid for. If you want to get financial aid or if you need some scholarships or payment plans, all that's available. Make sure you go to the virtual lobby. Continuing education from welding to accounting and more. HCC School of Continuing Education has launched classes that start weekly and monthly. That's right. They do year-round enrollment. Check out the schedules at hccs.edu/CE. Okay. Spring registration, Frank. The spring semester, it's hard to believe, starts a week from today, and registration's going on right now.
Absolutely. So we have multiple options. The first option is online anytime. Just as it sounds, take classes online at any time. The second option is online on a schedule. So take classes online at a scheduled time. You never have to come to campus, but log in at a specific time you select. So, and then the third option is flex campusing. So sign up for in-person classes. You can choose to come to class or participate online at a set time. However, the number of students in class are limited, so early sign-up is very essential. The fourth option is lab-based courses. Critical hands-on, skill-based learning will continue to be offered, but section size is smaller to allow for social distancing. All students have same support, so for tutoring, student life, career counseling services as well. So for more information about that, go to hccs.edu/now.
If you are going to classes in the spring or anytime at HCC, you need to attend a information session. They usually happen in person. Now we're doing them online. Go to hccs.edu/information session for more information. They have open houses with new students, parents, school counselors. All of that is available for the information session. Make sure you sign up for one. There's also an online services toolkit that's available to our students. We'll have the link for that in the social media post. And we mentioned the virtual lobby. It's available all the time. Go to the homepage at hccs.edu and click on the virtual lobby. It's right there on the homepage. You can't miss it. All of your questions from financial aid to registration can be answered there. Okay, so we always talk a little sports with Frank, and I know he's very excited because last weekend I got a text late Sunday, and it said that more or less that he was right and I was wrong about playoff wins. And I said the Colts were going to beat the Bills, and they didn't beat the Bills. It was a close game, but they didn't beat the Bills. But more importantly, I said the Browns were going to get trounced by the Steelers. I don't know what's up with the Steelers, but they didn't get trounced by the Browns, Frank.
I was telling you, Tom, man, like, look, they lost 4 of the last 5 going into the postseason. The O-line was in horrible shape. They couldn't run the football. Ben's arm looked shot. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna win this game. I mean, Cleveland has won 3 of the last 4 going into the postseason. They're riding high. They're healthy. The running game was on point. I'm like, man,
28-0 in the first quarter. I mean,
now, I didn't predict that.
With a fumble in the end zone.
I didn't predict that. My mom and myself, we was watching and we were just shocked. You know, my mom was giving me a history lesson about how good the Steelers were in the 70s and how they had this country song and they were the big thing, the big steel curtain. And I'm looking at this team, I'm like, man, something's wrong with that team. That team is broken. I don't know what's going on within that organization, but you don't get blown out by 28 in the first quarter.
I know. What a dumpster fire that was. So Pittsburgh fans, haven't heard a lot from them. They usually hear from them just all over the place, but haven't heard much over the last few days from Pittsburgh fans, understandably. The Saints won, so that's good. They're going on to the next round. I think, are they going? They're not going to Green Bay. They're going to
no, that Tampa's coming to them.
This that's going to be a dangerous game because it's hard to beat Tom Brady 3 times in 1 year. 2 times, yeah, they did it, barely. But 3 times, that's going to be tough. So that's going to be a tough game for them. But I think the Saints can pull it through and move on to the championship. So we'll see what happens with that. The Texans, yeah, they're still a dumpster fire. Talking about trading Watson, come on now. I mean, what is with these clowns? What is with them? Can they not figure it out?
Well, you know, last week we talked about him. Talked about a little bit last week, and my main concern was every great quarterback in the NFL. They have a great relationship with the front office, with the GM, and most good teams when they make big time decisions like bringing in a new coach, bringing in certain players, draft picks, they ask the CEO on the field, which is the quarterback, and there's been a disconnection between Watson and the front office. Like even the new GM, Watson wasn't even told about that. He said he found out on social media.
Well, they hired a firm, and allegedly, from what I'm hearing through all the reports, is that the firm made a selection for someone from the Steelers, Omar Khan. And then they decided, no, we're going to go back to Caserio because we wanted him a few years ago, and he's with the Patriots, and Jack Easterby loves him. And next thing you know, Nick Caserio's hired, Deshaun Watson's tweeting out, things never change, and then goes on vacation and won't talk to him.
Yeah, and people don't realize he did this last year. He didn't talk to the Texans brass for about 2 months. He was quiet last year too, and so this is becoming a trend now. And if you're Watson, like I'm putting my body out every Sunday, I'm putting my body out of getting beat up. I have a poor O-line in front of me. I have my best receiver is out for the year. I have a great year, but I have nothing to show for it. Yeah, if I was him, I would want out too. And if you're Miami,
your best receiver, they traded for a washed-up running back and nothing.
Yeah, and your second best receiver is out for the year due to PEDs. So it's like you're out there alone, and like if you're Watson, you're upset. And like I'm not sure how true the rumors are with Miami, but if you're the Dolphins, you have a chance to bring in a perennial All-Pro, a potential multiple-time MVP. You do it. You saw the farm.
They're talking about getting 2 first-round picks from Miami, a 3rd round, a 2nd round, and then their current quarterback, Tua. The guy wasn't he from Alabama?
Alabama, yeah. You do that. Yeah. If you're the Dolphins, you press the yes button on that because over the last 3 years, you accumulated all these draft picks. I think last year in 2020, they had 13 draft picks. Yeah. So they accumulated a lot of talent over the last 3 years. So if all I gotta do is give up 2 first rounds, a second, and Tua, I'm doing it because the team is ready made to win now.
Right. You got a quarterback who can step in, and he's got 4 years of experience under his belt. He's a superstar. And you're giving away a potential decent, I don't know if the Tua guy is going to work out long run, but who knows? So once again, the Texans remained not just, I think it's an insult to dumpster fires to call them a dumpster fire. Dumpster fires are going to say, we don't want to be compared to the Texans. It's just,
I mean, you're waking up Tuesday morning and you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan and you watched Trevor Lawrence the weekend before, you're happy, like your future's secure. And Urban Meyer comes, you're even more happy. So, I mean, as far as the AFC South is concerned, all those teams in the AFC South have a bright future. Even the Colts, even if Philip Rivers retires, they can plug in a quarterback in the draft with that ready-made roster and still go out and win. If you're the Texans, you have nothing to show for the next couple of years, especially if you trade your best player.
Yeah, no, it's a mess, but we'll just have to see how things go. Who you got this weekend?
So we got the Rams coming to Green Bay. The Rams, they don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback. It could be Goff with a broken thumb. It could be Walford who had concussion Sunday against the Seahawks. They don't know. So I'm going Aaron Rodgers in the convincing game. I'm going to say 38-21.
All right.
We have Tom coming to New Orleans. Like you said, man, it's hard to beat Tom once in a year. 3 times in a year. If Breeze does it, he'll be the only quarterback ever to do that against Tom Brady. I think Tampa's rolling right now. They're hot. They're healthy. I got Tampa beating them 31-30 in a barn burner. And then the Bills Baltimore game. These are 2 hot teams right now. Todd, check this out. The AFC had the oldest quarterback left in the AFC is Baker Mayfield at 25 years old and 188 days. Second is Mahomes at 25 years old, I think 115 days. Third, you have Lamar Jackson at 24, and then you have Josh Allen 24. And then in the NFC side, you have Aaron Rodgers who's 37. You have Tom Brady who's 43. You have Drew Brees who's 40. So it's kind of like the elders against the kids.
I know it's going to be an amazing weekend. So I'm going to have to go with my Saints. Have to do that. And I think that's going to be. I'm just going to stick with that pick because I'm going to stay on it. Saints are going to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. That's it. I know you're Kansas City bound and you're the Kansas City fan, but I'm going to go with the Saints.
And I got Kansas City. I don't think that game against Cleveland's going to be close. I think Kansas City wins by at least 17.
Yeah, I don't go with that. Well, Frank, it's good to see you. I guess you'll be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. You be safe as well.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. We're back tomorrow morning. We've got Timothy Pfeiffer with the insurance program. He's the coordinator from the Business Center of Excellence. And also we'll be talking with Jafe Rauner of the Houston Press. And we'll be talking about our HCC digital and simulation departments. They have a lot to offer students. Stay with us tomorrow. We'll be back 10 a.m. We'll see you then.